Today is September 2nd, 2022, and this is your daily Half-Life 3 update. There is no news about Half-Life 3. Now, talking about Halo for a second, there's one thing that's always kind of bothered me about Halo. Specifically, this is like a more recent problem with Halo. They never seem to properly utilize the Flood. You know, I was really expecting to see the Flood in Halo Infinite, and that didn't end up happening. But I just have the feeling that the people making Halo don't realize what they have with the Flood. The Flood are a great video game enemy. They would be great for like a movie or a TV show. I think I mentioned before that I would have wanted the Halo TV show. Since the Halo TV show was gonna not be canon, I would have wanted that to be a Flood-based story. But what you have with the Flood is you basically have the hardest zombies out there. Of all the various types of zombies that we've had, like from The Walking Dead, Left 4 Dead, Dawn of the Dead, all the Deads. The Flood and the Halo are the worst. They're the hardest to survive. They're the scariest. Okay, it's not just how hard they are to kill and stop, because they are very hard to stop. The Forerunners only stopped the Flood because they nuked the entire universe and killed every single living thing in the universe, which is the only way to stop the Flood. You know, the only way to stop the Flood is to kill their food source. You know, if a single Flood spore survives, they can wreak havoc across the universe. And it's my understanding that the Flood are still out there as well. Like, you stop the Flood in Halo 3 when you blow up the Ark, but it's my understanding that they're still out there somewhere, just kind of waiting for their chance to return. Maybe they're far away, but I believe the Flood are still out there. And the other thing that makes the Flood very scary is their intelligence. You know, no other zombie in fiction has, from my understanding, no other zombie in fiction has displayed the level of intelligence that the Flood has. So specifically when the Flood reaches or creates, or however you want to say it, when the Flood has a grave mind, which is basically just like the Flood supercomputer. They take the minds of people they've turned into Flood and just combine them, so you have like 7 minds, the brain power of, it's incredible. I mean, it reaches the point where in Halo 3 the Flood work with you to help stop the Covenant, because they realize that the Covenant would be just as bad. You know, the Covenant doing what they're doing would be bad for them as well. So that's pretty, that's pretty frightening if you think about it, that they're capable of working with you to further their own agenda as well, which would be killing you. You know, they're going to work with you so that they can kill you later on. But yeah, I mean, I have no problem with how they utilized the Flood in Halos 1, 2, and 3. They definitely expanded on the Flood in Halo 2. And obviously, the Flood weren't going to be in Reach. That's understandable. But recently, I don't know. There just haven't been a lot of Flood stuff. Maybe there have been more good Flood stories in books or whatever. I don't know if there's been a lot of Flood. I don't know if there's been a lot of Halo books more recently. Maybe I'm wrong in that. I kind of feel like all the Halo expanded universe stuff, specifically books, happened, before Halo 4. Am I wrong in that? I feel like I could easily look that up, but I'm not going to stop the video just to look that up. But once like the switch over happened to Halo 4, I feel like the Flood have been underutilized. I don't think we've seen the Flood since. Maybe like Halo Wars 2, the Flood might have been in it, now that I think about that. But still, did anyone play Halo Wars? Maybe the Flood can be in that second season of the Halo TV show. Which is anyone even gonna watch the second season of that show. I mean, I heard people talk about that show with like the first 2 episodes. It was basically people complaining the Master Chief took his helmet off. But I didn't hear anybody else talk about it. Like, I don't know what happened in that show, like how it ended. I know the Flood aren't in it. Does anyone? Do people like that show? Do they enjoy it? I don't know. But yeah, I hope we can see more of the Flood in future Halo stuff, because they're a great enemy. And it'd be pretty cool to see them again. And that has been your daily Half-Life 3 update for September 2nd, 2022.